Okay, before I start, two things. Two things. Background noise of air conditioning because it is hot. And two, I misplaced my light. Well, I have my light. I don't have the thing that I put my light on, so it's down below instead of up top. My child tried to eat it, and I said no, because I don't want baby to choke. So I put it in a very special spot. Where that very special spot is, I have no idea. So we're working with this today, and the shadow makes me look like I have a zit, but I do not. Anyway, that's beside the point. The point of this video is annoying customers. I have quite a bit of stories. I think I have too many for one video, so we're gonna focus on one dude. He wasn't my least favorite customer because I could at least handle him a little bit, but he was the least favorite customer of my boss, who had previously kicked him out, and here is why. He was a little bit inappropriate and made comments about other customers' bottoms, and said some things that he probably shouldn't have. He's been kicked out of several places. But here is the clicker. Well, not clicker. Here's the story. So in retail, at least for me, when I'm a cashier, there are people that come in fairly regularly, and you start to recognize them, and they like to talk to you, and you talk to them. And for me, we had a thing where we would be like, oh, there's trouble. They would come in and they'd see me and they'd be like, oh, there's trouble. And I'd be like, oh, there's trouble. Or I'd be like, what are you doing here, you know? Like, they don't come and shop. Anyway. So one of the problems with this dude was he thought he was one of those people. That he was buddy-buddy with the cashiers, when honestly, we all hated him. Because he was rude. One time he threatened to beat up his 3-year-old granddaughter. And just to cherry on top, this dude was huge. And by huge, I mean he was 7 feet tall. And unless you're 7 feet tall, he's taller than you. Anyway, he was a huge dude, and the 3-year-old was not. And I was like, that's not a fair fight, and if you beat a 3-year-old in the store, I will beat you and call the cops. I don't care that I'm a lot smaller than you. Because I am not 7 feet. I'm sure you could tell that, because I'm short. I mean, I'm sitting, but I'm short, okay? Anyway, so what he liked to do with me specifically was he made comments about me being a good ex-wife. I have only been married the one time. I am still very happily married. And at the time, I had only been married for about a year. And I was like, I've had one fight with my husband, and I don't think I'm gonna divorce him anytime soon. But he made these comments, and I'm like, so you think I'm a horrible person, you know? And I'm not the biggest fan of myself, but it was like, at the same time, I really couldn't care less what he thought of me because I hated him anyway. But he always made those comments, and then he took it up a level, okay? He would complain a lot about just the stupidest things. And one time I was ringing up this other gal, and he was in line, and he was like, oh, you're in trouble, the Coke bottle's in the Pepsi machine, in the fridge, or vice versa, I can't remember which one it was, couldn't care less. And I was like, then fix it. Because sometimes I don't have a filter, and when it's people like him, I don't use a filter. So I was just over it. I was like, then fix it. Like, what am I, your mother? It's not that big of a deal. Like, who freaking cares? You know, whatever. And so I was like, then fix it. And he's like, And he's like, I think in a previous life you were an ex-wife of mine. I had lost patience. I ended up looking him dead in the eye and saying, I wouldn't have married you in the first place. And then I went back to my stuff. The look on his face was priceless. He looked so dejected. And then he tried to do his whole spiel about, well, I was told, you have to do these 6 things, and those 6 things never work for me, and I'm like, oh, what are the 6 things? Even though I had already heard it, and it's like, respect women and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you're not respecting women, no, because you're super freaking rude all the fetching time and making snide comments about people's bodies. Anyway, that was the last time he tried to get on my nerves. He kind of watched his P's and Q's around me. That's what yeah. I'm like, that's the right phrase, right? Anyway, so that was him. I have more stories, but I felt he deserved his own because I don't think I'm ever going to run into anyone else who would say that I was possibly an ex-wife in a past life. Tell me you don't like me without telling me you don't like me. I don't know. Anyway, so that's that. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you have a good day. Hope that you find something to smile about today. I think I say that a lot, but it says true now as it has been every other time. Because you still have worth, you are still important, you are still a wonderful human being, and you look great today. Bye. Mwah. I don't know. I'm awkward. We've already covered that.